Hi you guys, this is Kimber Camille and I'm back with another video. We're doing a movie review and I'm so excited to have you guys here. It's been a couple months since I've dropped a video doing a movie review, and so I'm happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The movie that I'm going to be doing is called Praise This. So Praise This is produced by Will Packer, and the director is Tina Gordon. Tina Gordon is a Black director, woman, and we want to feature her today. Tina Gordon she's a writer as well, and she has written movies like, she directed Little. So I'm hoping that Little can be another one that I review on this channel. It's a fantasy movie, but we're talking about Praise This today. And so Praise This stars Chloe Bailey, and I love the character Jess in this film. And Jess in this film was Angelica Washington. And so her character was so cute, so fun, so playful, so likable, and so cheerful in this movie. This has a star-studded cast, gospel singers. You have Corinne Hawthorne, Jacqueline Carr. You have Quavo in this film. You have Drewski. And the pastor of this film is played by Mac Wild. So it starts off with the competition, and it's like Sister Act meets Stomp the Yard. It's like this competition where you have these praise teams battling it out, and we get introduced to Jess, and she's like frantic and all of that. The example of this film is like a city girl meets I wouldn't necessarily say small town, because Atlanta is not a small town. It's just a different culture. It's the South. And Sam, the character that Chloe Bailey plays, is coming from LA. So she's an aspiring songwriter and singer, and she wants to make it big. And she's been, doing what she can in the studio, and she's decided she doesn't want to go to college. She wants to produce singing and songwriting full time. But her mom has died. So she's going to live with her cousin in Atlanta. So I think the first thing that I was kind of drawn to creatively was the church. My background is so about 10 years ago, I studied theater. I studied set design. And so my goal, like at the beginning of all of this, was to be a production designer. So I went to school for a little bit. I went to Wayne State University, and I was a part of the Hillberry Repertory Theater, and I did set design. And so one of the things that stood out to me was like the church. It said you belong here, and it was like this warehouse that they were a part of. And I want to know in the comments how many people can relate to going to different churches and unique places. What's the most unique place that your church has been in, like your service has taken place? What's the most unique place your service has taken place? I've heard some churches take place in a storefront, in a mall, in a warehouse. What's the most unique place that your church has taken place? I'm curious to see in the comments. So you see on the church, the warehouse, you belong here. And I was like, okay, that's fitting. That speaks to the whole gospel of things, and the whole Christianity of it all. So what's inside? It's like these tarps that were hanging with paint and things on them. And then you have the stage that I thought was super genius of the production designer. The stage was a skateboard, a skating ramp. So you had all the singers line up, you had the praise team line up, and then you have, of course, Melissa, the praise team lead, who is very arrogant and very stiff and very set in her ways about what she wants the praise team to be. And everybody's just taking her cue and listening to her. And all of her songs are like traditional songs. And she's like, you know, this is the gospel. This is the truth. This is what really needs to be heard. And what we see through the competitor is the church for the competitor is, I believe it's Champion Life Church. Let me get my notes right. Where is it? Yes, so the competitor or their competition is Champion Life Church. And we see Corinne Hawthorne. I'm not sure if this is her first film or not. I know that she did Won't You Do It for, was it, gosh, what was the name of that? Oh gosh, what was the name of that TV show? Oh, Saints and Sinners? Yes, I think the name of the TV show was Saints and Sinners, where Corinne Hawthorne had Won't You Do It. I believe it was Won't You Do It as like one of the theme songs. But I don't know if this was her first acting job, but she really embodied this diva character that was determined to be number one in everything. And her bishop, her pastor, well, Bishop, they called him Bishop in the film, is very, what do you call it? Very authoritative to, the oil factory is the name of Jess's church. Jess is the cousin of Sam, and it's called the Oil Factory is their team name. And so I thought these names are clever. So let me give you some other team names that show up in this praise team, not praise dance. That's another movie. No, praise team. I said Stomp the Yard, like it's Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit meets Stomp the Yard, but there's no dancing in this film, but it's all singing. But some of the other names are the Prodigal Son, and the Prodigal Sons reminded me of like the male chorus meets Kappas. Like, shout out to anyone who is a part of the Divine Nine, but they they had like this whole like shimmy thing going on. And I was like, that's funny. But the Prodigal Sons were like this boy group with this kind of suave type of demeanor and personality. And the song that they used was Lil Wayne, How to Love. And I thought that was so I wouldn't say cute, but that was entertaining. Another team that is a part of the praise team competition are called the Promise Ringtones. And I thought that was kind of cute. So they're basically like this, all girl group. They're wearing pink all the time, very Southern Belle like, very prissy, very cute, very just have that way about them. So they practice purity, and they're known for being pure and waiting on the Lord to bless them with this perfect king. And so they're singing, their persona is just basically being a daughter of Christ. I thought that was kind of cute as well. But there's a twist in this film with the Promise Ringtones. But they sing a number, they turn savage into a holy song. So let me just tell you, this film takes all secular songs and flips it and makes it a gospel song. So let me know, does that bother you? So I've read some reviews, and they said that it's teaching youth not to be comfortable with what did it say? Teaching youth that they have to conform to secular things, like they have to conform, that the character Melissa, she was just wanting to sing these praise and worship songs that were traditional. And they said that this film is teaching youth that they have to look outside the church to be fulfilled, or to be validated, or to be seen as, what's the word? To be seen as influential and what is the word? Relevant. So in order to be relevant, you have to use these secular songs. You can't stay in the church. And I don't think that's right. Let me know in the comments, do you agree? Do you agree that this film took it too far? Now, I will say that this is not your Kendrick Brothers film. Shout out to the Kendrick Brothers that did War Room. This is not that type of film. It has a Hollywood production tone to it. And there are some cuss words, and I want to share what that is. It says, so she basically, Sam, Chloe's character, basically talks about how run down the churches and how run down the oil factory is, and how nobody wants to show up and be a part of it. And it is basically, excuse my language, a poopy place. I won't say the actual word because, just a part of my own personal brand is I don't really cuss, but they said the S word, and they said, well, God works in some pretty poopy places. Jesus was born in a barn. And then her uncle said, yeah, that was pretty poopy. So I'm just keeping it PG for you guys. I'm sorry if it's too watered down, but yeah, it does have language in this film. It's not like your typical what do you call it? It's not your typical Christian film. It has a lot of secular elements to it, but I do think it's an opportunity to reach people where they are. So this film has Quavo in it, and Quavo is one of the members of the Migos. They're a rap group, and I felt like his acting was very sincere. I felt like he embodied his character. I don't think he had to reach too far because it's a world that he's familiar with, being a rapper. But I felt like he connected with the other characters around him, as well as he embodied his character as a whole. And it was believable to me. I also like to say Chloe's acting was very vulnerable. Her ability to be able to cry on cue is so beautiful. And let me just tell you, she has a beautiful voice. She really brings it in this film. And I'm looking to see more of her acting. I don't know, maybe it can be something more dramatic, but this was definitely a heavy musical. It had more songs than I can count. And so that is the premise, or that is what I think about Chloe's acting, is that she was spot on. She was vulnerable. That tear that fell in one of the scenes, I was like, you go, girl. So if you're hesitant about seeing her acting, just please know that she does deliver in this movie. Sam has so in the film, Sam has to freestyle secular songs into gospel songs. She has a beautiful voice. She is lyrically talented, and one of my favorite songs that she does a different rendition of is Who Can I Run To? Who can I run to? That song. And so I believe that's Escape. And is there someone that sings that song originally before Escape? I don't know. Let me know. But she sings Who Can I Run To? And she basically turns it into like a love song to God. Like, he's the one that I run to when I have these situations where I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm going. And that was kind of her story in this film, is she didn't know what she was she didn't know what she was, who she was, or what she wanted to be or do with her life. And she didn't know, well, she knew what she wanted to do, but it wasn't pleasing to her father. And she called her dad like a dream killer. Like that was saved in her phone, like he's a dream killer. But she didn't know what type of relationship she had with God. And so these lyrics came to her, and there was a scene with her and Quavo, and he's like, "Do you really believe what you say about God? Do you believe those things?" And I felt like it was touching too. Like perhaps this film was a healing film for Quavo as well. I really do think that he did a great job, and I'm glad that he had the opportunity to be an actor. I wonder if this is his first film as well. Shout out to Will Packer for putting him on. And shout out to Will Packer. Like, he is an inspiration to me. Like, I aspire to produce films, and I know that he has a background in HBCU and all of that. And I did not go to a HBCU, but I still think I have a story to tell in regard to, you know, my education and my background and the things that I've learned along the way. And I hope to make films. And actually, the film that I'm working on is a web series. Hopefully that I can show it here. Let me know in the comments if that would be something that you would like to watch on this channel. It's a web series, and it is a musical. It's not quite so break out into song, but if the viewers like it, if subscribers like it, if the audience likes it, then we'll add more of that. But that is what I'm working on, so it's an inspiration to watch movies like this. So Sam, she says, "I don't have a relationship with God. I just know how to rhyme." She says that. And so I just thought that her relationship with her and the first lady was, it was nice. It was like they had this woman-to-woman conversation. And she said, "Aren't you the number one lady of something?" Isn't that so cute? She said, "Aren't you the number one lady of something?" And she was like, kind of like that. You know, I'm the first lady of the church, yes. And so there's this scene where writers call it All Is Lost, where all seems lost for Sam and her character. You know, she's lied, and she stole property from, and Quavo's name and the character is Ty. And I thought that was a maybe playing homage to Ty Dolla $ign. I love Ty Dolla $ign. Shout out to Ty Dolla $ign. But I don't know, his name was Ty. So yeah, she stole from him, and all is lost for her. So she ends up in this lounge, and the lounge is called Natalie's Lounge. Well, it turns out that Natalie is the first lady. And they have this woman-to-woman conversation, and Sam expresses that she felt like a fraud trusting in God. When her mom died, she stopped talking to God. So, you know, how many people can relate to that? How many people feel like sometimes you're just not close to him? Sometimes you just feel like you don't have that relationship with God like that you want. Well, that's kind of what she's confiding in Natalie in this moment, where kind of all is lost and she feels kind of defeated. And it was beautiful because she doesn't have that mother figure there. Although she has her aunt, which we don't see a relationship with quite that often in this film, she reaches out to, or she stumbles across, the first lady. And I know that speaks to a lot of people. I know a lot of people put a lot of trust in their pastor and their first lady, and it's people that you can really depend on. And I think if you find a church like that, that's a beautiful thing, and you should hold on to it. And also, again, I love seeing Corinne Hawthorne. Shout out to her. She got her start from, I believe it was The Voice. Was she on Pharrell's team? And she sang, I remember this song. She sang, she sang the song Wildfire, Wildfire, something like that. And yeah, so she is a gospel singer. She's a natural star to me. She has a genuine ministry, and she led the Champion Life Church in this film. The Oil Factory is the name of Sam and Jess's group. And I liked when they sang "There's Power in the Name of Jesus," and how they did a rendition of that. The army is rising up, and I believe the lyrics said "our generation," and I was like, that's awesome. That's what this film is about, connecting this generation to the Lord. And it wasn't really preachy. It wasn't a preachy film, but if you just listen to the lyrics, it could take you somewhere. It could take you to a place where you could, put your faith in that. I believe, at least it did for me. I don't know if somebody that is a non-believer or that doesn't follow Christianity, if they felt the sincerity of their songs, but I feel like there was power in what they were saying. I feel like it was arranged in a current, in a hip. When I say hip, that dates me, right? I sound old when I say it's hip. But it was very current. It was up to beat. It was arranged nicely. And it was provoking. And I like the scene with Jacqueline Carr. Like Jacqueline Carr, she was a great actress in this film as well. I loved her wigs. Love the wigs, Jacqueline. You looked on point as always. Jacqueline's style is always on point. But her personality is kind of like this. I would hate to say that, because there's a stereotype of like being the best friend and like being the side character, and that's not what I mean by that at all. But she was like, I was gonna say she was like a best friend in this film, but she had this personality about her. Like, she just was the personality. She was the persona. She didn't overshadow Sam. She just was in her own skin, and I appreciated that. And there was a part where Melissa, and this is a spoiler, so see the movie. Stop this right now. Stop this review right now and go see the film. It's on Peacock, so you can stream it on Peacock right now. But when Melissa switches teams and goes over to the Champion Life Church, she goes into Jacqueline. Kiki is Jacqueline's character name. She goes in her face, and Kiki is like, oh baby, try Jesus, don't try me. Because you already know. And then Melissa's like, come get your blessing. And I'm like, I love that back and forth. That was cute. So it's fun, I'm sure, as a writer, to put those things in there and see it come to life with the actors. I'm sure that's a beautiful thing. I think that was the case in this movie. And again, Chloe makes herself vulnerable in the role. She commits to the character. How she flips the songs in ministry as she searches for herself is beautiful. So she flips these songs and she's singing about God, but she still doesn't know if he's the one. Well, I wouldn't say he's the one for her, but she doesn't know if she has a relationship with God or not. She's still searching. Like she said, she felt like she was a fraud. Quavo is sincere and relatable in this film. I know some guys that watch this film could maybe see themselves in him and like could relate. Even though a guy doesn't have the money or the success, they could probably still identify with people perhaps using them or not being honest with them. And he kind of embodies that in his role. The song, I'm trying to remember the lyrics and I wish I could sing it, but it goes, don't worry about me. I'm gonna be all right. God all over my life. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be all right. Got God all over my life. And so that's the premise of the new song that they're going to compete with at the praise team competition. Ultimately, they do lose. They lose the competition because Sam stole the song. So go check out the film. I won't say how it ends. It does end in a happy tone, and we get to kind of see the pastor's backstories. There's probably many stories out there where pastors get their calling from unfavorable circumstances. Michelle Williams makes an appearance in this film. When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. But okay, so you know her from that song, but you also know her from Destiny's Child. Everybody knows who Michelle Williams is. Like, but I just wanted a reason to sing that song. But the harmony at the end is beautiful. That's kind of how it ends the film. I would give this, okay, so I've started this new thing now. I've started this new thing now where we're gonna give crowns out. So we're representing Black women directors, and we're gonna give crowns. So 5 is like 5 crowns. So I give this film, oh, I hate to be like harsh. I give it 4 crowns, okay? I give it 4 crowns. All the films that we do on this is gonna be awesome. And we're just uplifting all these women. They do an awesome job. And I may go back and do a couple other ones. Okay, so I'll do another video. I'll do another video and go back and rate all the films that I've done so far and give them their crowns, give them their flowers. But I would say this gets 4 crowns out of 5. So thank you so much for watching. Tell a friend, comment down below. Let me know what you think of this film. I did ask some questions throughout this video, so if you need some talking points, just answer those questions. Let me know what's up, and I can't wait to speak with you guys. I'm happy I'm back, and let me know what video I should watch, and specifically it has to be directed by a Black female. So let me know. Let me know, and I will be coming back to you guys really, really soon. Have a happy Easter, happy Resurrection Sunday, and we'll be talking with you guys shortly. Bye.